Hey everybody, Don here again. Welcome back to Ragged Edge Lure Works. Well, the other day I had a buddy reach out to me and say, "Hey, you got any Whopper Plopper style lures?" And I said, "I do. I got some of these tail splashers, not actual Whopper Ploppers, but the tail splashers. It's a size 75." And I said, "I've actually just painted up a couple." And he said, "You ever do anything in white?" He really likes white. There's a Whopper Plopper has a bone color, I think, is as close as they have to white. But white's always a good topwater color. White, black, two of my favorites. So I said, "Yeah, I can paint you up something in white. I mean, do you want it just plain white?" And he said, "Nah, be creative, play with it a little bit." Love it. So this is what I did. I painted this up for him, and I used a little bit. I mean, I covered this thing with pearlized white, which is kind of a cool color on itself. But then I put I did some fin work on it, like I did on that last lure that I showed you, and some gill work, and that is in that gold to red color shift paint, which you can't really see in this light. You can see a little bit of how that shifts gold to red. And then I put a little bit of transparent blue on the back, and I hit it really lightly with the color shifters brown to gold, but really lightly, so you can't really see much of the color shift in it, but just darkened it up a little bit from the pearl white. And then I put these cool dragon eyes on it. He loved it. And so I sold one to him. And then I put another one in a package that I was trading a guy for. And he liked it as well. So I'm keeping this one for myself. But I'm going to do something similar to this. I've got several more of these. And I'll show you what I'm going to do. Hang out. All right, so here's what I got. So the first time around, I just used pearl white, and then I did the gills and the fins with this Vallejo color shifter, the red to gold, with pretty much just a really light coat. And then I put a little of this transparent blue on the back. Now, I'm not going to do that this time. This time, and if you look at this under the light, you can see those shifters just a little bit better. You see how that gill changes from red to gold as you move it. And the body itself is just slightly like tinted with that gold to brown. So I'm going to do something different. I'm going to start off this time with some of this white golden flash, the iridescent paints from ArtMe. I have no idea what this is going to look like, but I'm going to paint up a couple of them, and then I'm going to do something similar to this. I will probably use that red gold on the gills and the fins. And I'm not sure if I'm going to put blue on the back or not. Maybe I'll put something a little different on the back. There's some other iridescent paints I want to try. And yeah, let's get to painting. I'm going to prime these things up with opaque black. But I'm going to add some of this 40-30 balancing clear. My friend Chris told me about this. It helps adhesion to the plastic. I'm looking at the thing here. It says mix 10% per volume with Createx paints, enhances flow and adhesion. So we'll mix this up 10-1 and see how it goes. Yeah, it's not an exact science. 2, 3. And we'll mix that up. I saw this on another lure painter's videos that he did some testing with just black paint on a white spoon using the stuff plain and with a 40-30. see how it works. All right, let's prime them up. All right, well, we're going to try some of this white golden flash for the next coat. And you know, this stuff is like paste. A little bit of that. I can see that gold iridescent flake in there, and then we're going to try to thin it down. All right, well, I got this stuff mixed up really good. Let's put it in the brush and see what it looks like. I gotta tell you, half of the fun of painting baits is this right here, is just experimenting with colors. Now, that is much more golden than I anticipated. Probably would have looked better on white. But maybe we'll call this a golden shiner tail splasher. Very cool looking. Not what I was expecting. Let's heat set that and get a quick look at it. All right, well, this is not at all what I was expecting, but after looking at this for a few seconds, I had an epiphany. I'm going to paint the other two with this gold as well. And then, instead of going with a white pattern, I'm going to transform this into one of my perch patterns. I'm going to come in, and after I paint the others all gold, I'm going to come in, I'm going to paint the bottom with a little bit of pearl white, just a little bit. Then I'm going to come in with some moss green. I'm going to put a little moss green on there. Then I'll switch over to sepia, and I'm going to put my bars on there. And then I'll top the back off and the face off. And then when I'm all done, I'll come in and I'll usually I just put a little orange on under the chin and here at the back end. I think I'll put some orange on the fin too, just to make it a little bit more. So yeah, let's do that. Changing horses midstream, love it. All right, well, I got them all painted gold and then flipped them over. I'm just going to put a little bit of pearl white in the airbrush, a little bit of reducer, not too much. Give it a good mixy mix. And then I'm going to crank the pressure down on my airbrush down to about maybe 7 or 8 psi. But I'm also going to close up the trigger control here a little bit. All right, let's see, what do we got? Yeah. Just a little bit on the belly to lighten it up some. Kind of making it silvery looking, but that's all right. It's a little silvery. Probably would have been better to use opaque white, but there you go. Just lighten up that belly a little bit. I like it. Well, now we're going to come across the back with some moss green. A little bit around the head. Not too much. Turn the trigger control down. That's good. Here we go. take a bit over this gold, that can tell you that much. But I've got my my trigger control turned way down. That looks pretty good. Dulls it down quite a bit. Shake up a little sepia. Put it on my plate here. Got this little piece of sponge. Let's see if we can make some decent looking bars. A little wide. Let's trim that down just a tad. It's still a little wide, but let's go with it. Just going to take it down to the fin. A little bit past on that one. This will be a 4-bar perch. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's get a couple of little dots here on the gills. All right, let's give that a little heat set. To the other side. All right. Now we'll put a little sepia down the back and around the face. There we go. I've got the pressure turned down again just because I'd rather take multiple passes than get a blowout. All right, I made a couple more of these fin stencils, and I made extra sure to get the sticky off the back as much as I could. Now I'm just going to go in with a little of this pearl tangerine. Just real lightly. Try the next one. Too heavy. That one's a little heavier than the first one. All right. Now flip these over and do them on the other side. All right, flip them and do the nose or under the chin and around the tail. There you have it. Dry these off, put some eyeballs on them and some clear coat, and we are done. I like these eyes right here. Just put that one on that one. You guys know how I put on eyes. You don't need to see this, right? Little tab of glue. Boom. Simple as that. Well, here you have what I intended to paint. I was going to make a few more of those. And this is what I ended up making. How did that happen? Well, that's the nice thing about painting lures. When things go awry, you can change horses midstream and paint something totally different than what you started out with. I like it. Thanks for coming along. We'll see you next time. Peace.